This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf that is available in print in 14 states now. Hell, at your local cannabis retailer and growing. And also available online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, with my co-host Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And there's Dosey Joe.
Hey there.
And Mary J. White.
Baked with love.
Welcome to the second half of this Leaf Life show called Single Moms and Cannabis. In just a moment, we'll get into proper messaging about the positives around cannabis and how it's vital to becoming accepted by your community. And we'll spin Dosey Joe's wheel to see what products ARIEL Sanchez, who is the general manager of KUSH 21 retail chain, this show's Greg the Guinea Pig, is going to be trying next. But first, it's time for Why Didn't I Think of That?
Why didn't I think of that?
Why didn't I think of that?
Whoa, why didn't I think of that?
Because you were stoned.
Okay, Mary J.
Yeah. You guys, this is honestly something that I really fucking wish I had thought of.
Awkward.
Because this is genius. Okay.
Ooh.
Genius.
Capital G. Mm-hmm. The G spot of genius.
I'm sorry, I went. You're taking me off message here, pal.
All right.
Okay.
Awkward's over.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. So this company's name is Clebby, Clebby. And these incredible people have put together baking mixes, okay, like triple chocolate brownie, lemon pound cake, chocolate chip cookies. But wait, they're all infused. Like the whole thing is full of pot.
Oh, jeez. How much
And
pot?
it doesn't say. And I don't know, like, did they put like cannabis flower in there? Did they use a distillate on everything? I don't know. But they're incredible. They're beautiful. They're really well made. They're organic and stuff. Anyway, you guys, if you're in California, check out some Clebbys because damn, I mean, wouldn't you love some triple chocolate brownies that you didn't have to do anything to except eat them with your whole face?
Yeah.
Anyway, Clebbys. Get some.
I knew a
Sounds
guy
delicious.
when I was in Brazil named Klebe.
Klebe?
Yeah, his name was Klebe.
Klebe.
Yeah.
Cool.
You'll never forget that name.
No, I won't. Exactly. We traded hats. So I had a hat. It was actually Ride Snowboards, but it was this really sick R on the front of the hat, you know? So I just told everybody it was for Ricker. And I wore it down there, and this dude was so cool. I gave him my hat, and he gave me a necklace made of seashells.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which I lost within 2 months, but that's cool. Still got the photos.
You got to tell them about that edible brand.
Totally. Klebe.
Klebe.
Hey, while we're on that, what about Everyday Mary J? Tell us about your brand, Mary.
So, Everyday Mary J is my brand of cannabis products. And we have started with the Everyday Mary J cooking weed.
Yep.
It's half an ounce of weed, comes in a little sachet, like a tea bag. So you can decarb right in that little bag, and then take it out and you put it right in your butter or your oil, and then you just toss it away. So no muss, no fuss.
Love it.
And you get beautiful, beautiful stuff. And for $25, you can make 10 dozen gummies.
Oh, hells yes.
Saving all the moms.
All the moms.
Right
And
on.
we have granny grams for dog walker joints in a little container.
Short joints.
Yeah, like the little one. So 4 of them equals a gram, right? So in the energizing one, we have rose. In the hybrid, we have spearmint. And in the indica one, we have lavender.
Oh, I love that.
And next month, sex lube.
Yeah. Whoa. She's launching a sex lube product. Just go to everydaymaryj.com, right?
Sure.
Right on. All right. Dosey Joe, spin that wheel. See what Ariel's going to be hitting next. Zippity-doo-dah, a zippity-a.
Alrighty, we have another product by Alien Labs.
Big time.
We have a live resin disposable.
World class.
Nice.
You can see it looks.
Oh, that's purty.
That's
Dude,
some really nice
Is that
packaging.
glow in the dark?
I bet it would.
That would be cool.
It's it's green.
You should
It's
tell
a
them.
beautiful day glow
There you go.
green.
Yeah. What's the flavor?
I know. I'm like, is there a button? They usually have buttons on
Agent
these now.
No,
X.
just auto jaw.
Okay.
Agent X.
Agent X.
Dude, on my flight up here, the guy next to me was watching Mission Impossible 7.
Oh,
wow.
Was
and
Agent
I've
X on there?
never seen a Mission Impossible movie before.
Oh.
This is the Cali for sure.
Mission Possible.
It's giving me a message saying I'm not alone.
That's nice.
Like, thank you for the reminder.
You got Agent X on your
I
side.
know, right? That's so funny.
But that reminds me of the movie, man. You know, it was just like one nonstop thrill ride, that movie. And I eavesdropped visually on. I couldn't hear a thing. But believe me, I could follow the entire plot.
Well, there's no plot. Shit just blows up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the Alien Labs is delicious, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm Callie, I need to stop by. See what's going on over there.
Come on down, let's hang out.
I know, I need to come visit you. Now that you're down there, my family lives out there, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get some KUSH 21s in California.
Oh,
right.
yes.
You know, we're just looking at every state.
No doubt. You guys are expanding aggressively. KUSH 21 is really a high quality store here in Washington State. You guys carry a highly curated wall of products. Yeah. Hopefully soon, Everyday Mary J is going to be on that wall.
I definitely wrote some notes down to see if we can get her in there.
But, you know, when I ran Wham Oil, you know, my old hash oil company, Wes had an edible company called Leaf Chews. Yep. You know, I was in KUSH 21 a lot. I did vendor days there.
It was like the blue and gold packaging. And I remember vividly.
Very, very white, very clean. Yeah. And I always really loved being in KUSH 21. It's a very warm atmosphere with really, you know, intuitive and integrative staff.
Yes.
And so a great brand. And I really hope you guys, you know, take it to the ceiling.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
we appreciate that. And I think that with the new expansions to the new states, it's going to take us to the next level. And I'm really excited to be a part of the team. And I'm really proud of our team because we've really, you know, we work every day. We're very dedicated to it. So I'm excited to see like our new ventures, and it's going to be exciting.
And when you get to those new states, new stores in Illinois and Maryland, where we have a Leaf, proper messaging is going to be a key to your success and marketing with the Leaf.
Yep.
And segueing into proper messaging.
Yep.
It also applies to singles, moms, and cannabis. And, you know, when you're in your community and you're in the cannabis space, often people, I'm sure, will stigmatize you. Well, you're a single mother. You need to give up weed. Well, you know, like Wes was saying, mommy's wine time, you need to give up your alcohol.
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
Exactly.
And so, you know, proper messaging is key.
Correct.
In like proving to your community that you're a good mother. Yeah,
Correct.
I use cannabis to relax, to wind down as medicine, which it is.
Correct.
And you know what? It helps me be a better parent.
Yes. And I agree with that. And I think the proper messaging is very important. I think that, you know, as single moms, we only, like I said, have limited time to really educate or engage with our children, but those moments are really important. I will never shy away from my son that, you know, what the cannabis plant is. I definitely will explain to him what it does for people. I would rather him have the education from me than somebody else random giving him their perspective.
His buddy in grade school.
Yeah, no thanks. He could definitely get his perspective as well. I want him to be well-rounded, but at the same time, I'm always going to look out for his best interest. And so explaining it to them in a certain way is really important.
Yes.
So
going off of that, I immediately have a memory of my mom. I'm going into high school. I'm 15, and she sits me down before I get into school, and she says, look, you're getting, like, I already know you're already having fun, but you're going to get to an age where you're going to be around older people that also want to have fun. And I just want to let you know, if you ever need me, you can call me. And she pretty much kind of summed it up that she'd rather see me around the garage smoking weed still instead of going to parties and drinking.
Yep.
Jolie's mom was a single mother as well.
Yes, I had a single mom growing up. Yeah.
Smart mom.
Yep.
And Wes is a single father, by the way,
Yeah.
of two daughters.
Exactly.
same thing.
It's very, very, very common, isn't it, in the world
It
today?
is. But that talk, though, it made me feel safer to talk to her later on. Like,
Yes.
I did end up at a party one time where my DD was drinking, didn't feel safe, and I was able to call my mom.
Yeah, and get a perspective
So,
from
like,
her.
as long as you're kind of open with that communication with your kid, man, that can go milestones.
Yeah, if you shut that door, you're asking for issues
Exactly.
and problems.
Truth.
Then you can't control it either after that. So you want to definitely, especially when they're young, like, don't shy away from what it is, but at the same time, if they ask questions, you know, say it's mommy's medicine, and
That's what I
this is
say.
what I
Yeah.
use it for to help, you know, mommy's stress. They need to be aware of their emotional intelligence. If they're not, you know, you're putting them on a road to failure, you know, as a child, because eventually they're going to be an adult. They're going to do what they want, how they want.
Yeah.
They're not going to listen to you. So you're kind of building that foundation. So, yeah.
And it is important that first information download comes from a parent,
Correct.
from
Yes.
a place of advocacy versus dare or a teacher, because
Right.
what you don't want
God.
is someone to tell your child, like, hey, your parent's a terrible person
Correct.
for using
Yeah.
this. And that still happens.
Yeah.
And nobody does that about a beer at a ball game.
No.
Right.
But they will do that over the other things. And if your child has been empowered with that mindset
Yeah.
and that information, then they can say, oh, well,
They can
you
make
know.
the best
Yeah.
decisions for
Exactly.
themselves at
they
that point.
know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, those Dare commercials were insane.
God, that was terrible.
You're not the same when you smoke weed.
Yeah, I'm better.
Well, I'm not the same when I drink either, so.
Yeah.
I remember those fondly as a child
Yeah.
growing up. It's kind of funny because my parents didn't really tell me what it was before I knew it. So I learned a different perspective. I didn't learn what it does and what the pros and cons. I just saw what the media was telling you.
Right.
And so it almost made you a little more intrigued to like, oh, let me hear a little
Exactly.
more. So it's like, I would rather if my parents would have been like, hey, this is what this is.
Normalized it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
normalize it. Let them know what the pros and cons are, what they're getting
Yeah.
themselves into.
Right.
And then they can make the decision when they're at age to make that decision. So
Yeah. Kids, though, damn,
Curious creatures.
Yeah. And plus, their brains aren't done yet.
Yeah.
And, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes we act as adults, we act like kids should know all the things. But
Correct.
they don't know.
Yeah.
So, Grandmary is using a vaporizer because that's where my medicine is.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's
And
the
then they
proper.
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the proper messaging. I've been to friends for vacations or whatever, and they have kids and they'll get tore up, all night. The kids are in bed now. There's, hung over the next day, but don't bring any weed out. If
Yeah.
those kids around.
Yeah.
So, ooh, keep but
Yeah.
but why? You guys
Yeah.
are drinking? No, it's just they're just not ready for that yet. What do you mean they're not ready for
Yeah.
it? It's safer. Would you rather have them get in a car accident drunk or stoned?
Yeah. I think it's interesting to see like how we market liquor a lot, and then we're just very like, oh, it's whatever about the liquor, but the weed, oh my God, how dare you?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like holy grounds that you touch that they're like offended by, and we got to normalize it. We got to give them that perspective. We got to educate. That's the one thing I think in the cannabis industry right now we are fully lacking is education.
Yes.
Proper education. Like a platform or something that we can actually all support and, really take that data. And I think that would really help deliver the message to your children, the correct information.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's where the leaf comes in.
Yeah.
That's right.
Free education
Right.
all over the country, 100,000 plus magazines, and like
I know,
KUSH 21
you're definitely
expanding.
expanding.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
added Utah recently. We're looking at
Yeah.
new states. This is fun. And speaking of fun, it's time for you to play Colombia or Cambodia.
Welcome, fellow scholars.
Bienvenida a nuestro juego de malezas.
It's time to
I
play
don't speak Spanish, by the way.
Colombia
Colombia.
or Cambodia.
Do you speak Cambodian?
No.
You don't speak Spanish?
No.
You're Mexican American, right?
I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And Cubano.
Yeah, mainly Cuban.
Gotcha.
My dad's full
Really?
Cuban, yeah.
That's fucking cool, man.
Both parents from the East Coast.
Yeah.
my.
And then had West Coast babies. So
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah.
got a little sharky type of an attitude that they get out on the East Coast. They're very cold. They're very
Yeah.
straightforward. Over here, we're a little more relaxed.
I love Cuban culture,
Yeah.
by the way. I lived in Tampa for a long time, and I'm from Pensacola, Florida. And so, Cuban culture is very big in South Florida.
Yeah.
The cigars, the cigar factories in Tampa, I mean, that's where they all started,
Yeah.
the import of Cuban tobacco.
Correct.
If you go through Tampa, there's old cigar making factories everywhere that have been gentrified into new buildings and stuff, but they leave that heritage. It's got that kind of rustic feel. It's
Yep.
super cool.
Yeah.
And my gosh, a good Cuban cigar is the finest in the world.
Right.
And their culture's badass, dude.
Yeah.
It's, Habana used to be the hot spot
Yeah.
back in the 50s.
Have you had some
before the
Cuban
embargo.
food is the question.
Oh my God, the puerco
The
asado.
food is,
fire.
yeah.
Salty.
Soul. The
So
soul has
good.
been put into that food.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah,
So good.
sorry.
On the heels of the massive global success of the games Serbia or Siberia and Australia or Austria, here's the next iteration of Planet Earth's favorite confusing brain bender. Number 1, Colombia or Cambodia, Ariel? This country abolished slavery in 1851.
You would put me at this type of quiz. Okay, what was my 2 options one more time?
Colombia or Cambodia.
Okay, and then question one more time.
This country abolished slavery in 1951.
Colombia.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Look at you, smart.
Do you need another head?
Hey, okay, hit for the win.
That Alien Labs is helping her out.
With the Alien Labs,
Wait,
man.
I don't know if I should take this.
The 2023 Global Slavery Index report estimates that around 83,000 people in Cambodia are currently trapped in various forms of modern slavery, just FYI.
This is horrible.
Hey. Number 2. With a Spanish embassy in Thailand, this country has recently announced that they want long-term relations with Spain in terms of infrastructure. Colombia or Cambodia?
Cambodia.
That's incorrect.
Aw, dang. I knew I was going to get one wrong.
Colombia, they're closer to Spain,
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Whatever, man.
She don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's all good.
Alien Labs, bro. We're all going to be in the stratosphere eventually.
You should have put Eric on this one, the quiz on this one.
Eric's
He's
our
our
partner.
history man.
There you go. Eric Latta.
Yep.
And number 3. The chicken egg banana is the national fruit of this country. Colombia or Cambodia?
What? Say the question one more time.
The chicken egg banana is the national fruit of this country. There's something called a chicken egg banana, man.
That's just the weirdest thing I've ever heard of.
That's
this is
not if
true.
you live in Colombia or Cambodia.
Apparently
or one of
not.
them, actually.
I say Cambodia.
That's correct.
Yeah, it just seems. It's just it's
Chicken
unique.
banana.
Cambodia. That's it.
You got it. This banana provides many benefits to society, much like a palm tree does. It should be noted that bearded loraxes don't eat chicken egg bananas because the bearded lorax once ate one and stated profoundly afterwards that he found absolutely no flavor resemblance to a tasty Denver omelet.
Yeah.
However, there was once a castaway bearded lorax on a deserted island that fashioned a chicken egg banana leaf as a banana hammock, as the texture of the leaf was found quite conducive for comfortably providing the necessary airflow for copious amounts of wiry bush. Yes.
Gonna weave it all together.
We have to talk about his bush.
How many times did you say banana? Is the question.
It was a bearded lorax. Not necessarily this one. Jeez, you guys act like it's as odd as a Tasmanian
Chicken
devil.
bananas, banana hammocks, a chicken in a banana hammock.
I
Man.
know, I'm so confused.
I was counting the bananas.
Yeah, we need a banana countdown.
It's a banana-rama.
Yeah, that was good. You did good.
Ariel, where can we find you on social media and KUSH21?
So you can find KUSH21 at KUSH21.com, our
right.
website, and then KUSH21_WA for all our social media. For me, I don't have a cannabis account. I have a private account, but I do everything on KUSH21, so you can find me on there if you wanted to speak with me.
Thank you so much for being on the Leaf Life podcast.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Been a pleasure. Wes, next week, the power of intention.
Mindset is everything.
It's so true.
Download this and all Leaf Life episodes at leafmagazines.com. And please subscribe on YouTube at Leaf Life Podcast V2. Now get ready for another episode of Stony Baloney, which is also available at leafmagazines.com. And please be kind to animals.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies. Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Maryland Leaf, Amsterdam Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer. Now, please stay tuned for this week's edition of Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Respect the rat. If it weren't for the bubonic plague, rats could easily be man's best friend. And the rat-infested movie Willard didn't help their reputation either. You snicker, but what we're talking about is pretty much just an oversized mouse, right? I mean, if you really put tangible reasoning to our fearful rationale, the rat has never done anything wrong. Like people, they're hungry, crafty varmints who are scouring the planet in search of leftovers. The biggest difference between us and them is that we have thumbs and bigger melons, making it a hell of a lot easier to find food. Without this enormous advantage, you'd see people crawling wherever necessary to scour up however many bites as it takes to fill that nagging tummy too. Hunger will drive you to do the unthinkable. And okay, they multiply quickly, but so do we. Now, I'm not advocating for new leash laws for these sniffy scavengers, but if you think about it, they're docile and furry with cute little mouths who pretty much just want to nuzzle up for a good cuddle puddle if you're down to have a pink potbelly warming the nape of your neck. Sure, that tail is thick, but a dog's is bigger and whippier. And so are their farts. You know, every story needs a villain, so it could be said that the negative light shed on these feral friends has painted them as something to fear, when they could make pleasant companions for us all after a good snipping of the reproductive organs. Rats seem like happy creatures, red eyes and all. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with red eyes. I see them in the mirror every day after a fat bong rip. And then I nibble on some cheese.
Stony baloney. Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker or Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.